Hey, second graders. Today we will continue working on telling time. Let's take a look really quick at this analog clock that I have right here. Hmm. I can tell from looking at this that the hour hand is on the 8 and the minute hand is on the 3, which would be o'clock, oh 05, 10, 15. So it must be 8:15. Our learning target for today is I can tell time to the nearest 5 minutes using digital and analog clocks. And if you look closely at the picture, you can probably tell which clocks are analog and which clocks are digital. When you watch the video today, practice telling time to the nearest 5 minutes along with the narrator. Also, she gives you a special strategy that helps you tell time to the nearest 5 minutes a little bit faster. And it involves the 3, the 6, and the 9. So pay close attention and try to pick up on that strategy.
Clocks are used to tell time. We need to be able to read clocks for many reasons, like getting to school or the movies on time and setting timers for cooking. Here are two different clocks. They both show the same time, 4:35. Let's find out how to read this time on an analog or face clock. It has two hands, a short hour hand and a long minute hand. You can tell the hour on a face clock by reading the number the hour hand is pointing to. If the hour hand is between two numbers, the number before the hand tells the hour. On this clock, the hour hand is between the 4 and the 5, so 4 is the hour because it is the number before the hand. Now let's see how to read the minutes on a face clock. Notice that a face clock shows the numbers 1 through 12. There are small tick marks in between each number. The space from one tick mark to the next represents 1 minute. Between each of the numbers, there are 5 spaces. So, the whole space from one number to the next represents 5 minutes. When the minute hand points to the 1, we are 5 minutes into the hour. We can use the numbers on the clock to skip count by 5s and see how many minutes have passed when the minute hand points to each number. When the time is exactly on the hour, like 3 o'clock, the minute hand points to the 12. That's like 0 minutes passing. So to find how many minutes have passed when the hand is pointing somewhere else, start at the 12 and skip count by 5s until you get to the minute hand. On this clock, start at the 12 and count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. The hour was 4, the minutes are 35, so the time shown is 4:35. Let's practice. What time does this clock show? The short hour hand is between the 10 and the 11. 10 is the number before the hand, so the hour is 10. The long minute hand points to the 4. To find the minutes, start at the 12 and skip count by 5s until you reach the 4. 5, 10, 15, 20. So the minutes are 20. This clock shows 10:20. It can be helpful to memorize some of the minutes on a face clock. For example, 3 is 15 minutes, 6 is 30 minutes, and 9 is 45 minutes. If you know this, then you don't have to start at the 12 all the time. You could start at the 3, 6, or 9, or count on. Let's try it. What time does this clock show? The red hour hand is between the 7 and the 8, so the hour is 7. The blue minute hand is at the 8. I know the 6 is 30 minutes, so I can start there and count on. 30, then 35, 40. Or, if I know the 9 is 45 minutes, I could start there and count back. 45, then 40. Either way, I see the minutes are 40. The hour was 7, so the time is 7:40. Which of these clocks shows 11:25? Remember that the hour hand is short. Notice where the hour hand is on each clock. On the top two clocks, the hour hand is between the 11 and the 12. So the hour is 11 because it is the number before the hand. One of these two clocks might show 11:25. On the bottom clock, the minute hand, not the hour hand, is between the 11 and the 12. The hour hand points to the 5. So this clock definitely does not show 11:25. Let's check the minutes on the two clocks that are left. Remember that the minute hand is the long one. On the first clock, the minute hand points to the 5. Skip counting from 5, starting at the 12, we see that the minutes are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So, this clock shows 11:25. It's correct. On the other clock, the minute hand points to the 7. We know the 6 is 30 minutes, so we can count on from there. 30, 35. So, this clock shows 11:35, not 11:25. In this video, you have learned to read time to the nearest 5 minutes on an analog or face clock.
Okay, now that we have watched the video, let's review our learning target today. Our learning target today is I can tell time to the nearest 5 minutes using digital and analog clocks. And as you can probably tell, this is an analog clock, this is a digital clock, this is a digital clock, and this is a crazy looking analog clock. And if you look really closely, it's actually made out of chocolate. That wouldn't last very long. Okay, so now it is time to complete our practice set. Now you can just click on the next slide for today's practice problems because you'll be able to see them there. Here are the practice problems for today. The first thing that you're going to do is the same thing that we did on Tuesday, but different times. We're going to draw the hands on the analog clock and determine if it's AM or PM. And then for the second part, you're going to look at the time on the clock and figure out what you might be doing at that time. And I put a little note here to help you to think about the strategy that was shown in the video when she labeled the 3 as 15 minutes, the 6 as 30 minutes, and the 9 as 45 minutes. So she did not have to count every number when she was counting the minutes. So it's helpful because it makes it so that you can do it a little bit faster. Instead of having to go 0, 5, 10, 15, you can start from the 15, you can start from the 30, you can even start from the 45. So pause the video now and complete the practice set. Okay, let's review our practice set and see how you did. For the first part, where it says draw the hands on the analog clock to match the time on the digital clock, the first digital clock was 8:15, and it was brushing your teeth before bedtime. I had to underline bedtime because I brush my teeth in the morning and in the evening, but since this was bedtime, I knew that it would be PM. And I used the strategy from the video. If I knew already that the 3 was 15 minutes, then it was easy for me to write 8:15. The next one was recess after lunch. Well, that would be in the afternoon, so that would be 12:30 p.m. And again, I was able to use this strategy. So I knew right where to draw the minute hand too, because the 6 is halfway across, which is 30 minutes. And then the hour hand is right in between the 12 and the 1 because we've gotten halfway through the 12 o'clock hour. Okay, then it says write what you might be doing if it were AM or PM. Well, the time right here is pretty easy to tell. It's 6 o'clock. I said at 6 o'clock AM, I might still be sleeping. That's pretty early. I'm trying to get up at 7. 6 is pretty early. But if it was 6 o'clock PM, I would probably be making dinner. Then the next one says 4:30. 4:30 a.m., I would definitely be sleeping. And if it was 4:30 p.m., I would probably be helping my children with their online learning. So our last slide is a little bit of a challenge for you. So I want you guys to use the strategy from the video and any clocks that you see when you want to see what time it is. Try to use the strategy and say, okay, well, this would be o'clock, this would be 15, this would be 30, and this would be 45. So if you're looking at a clock and, well, this one's kind of easy because it's at 5:45, but let's just say that the minute hand was pointing to the 10. You would not have to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. You could just go 45 and then 50. So see if you can do that at home.